Hello, I have a special message that I'm being asked to share today, um, especially for those of us in Canada. I'm hearing that we may see some things heating up in our situation in the next couple weeks. Um, what those are, I mean, we'll discover as we go, and I think most of us probably have an idea of what's coming. And for those of you who don't, I'm sure you'll find out shortly. What I want to share with you, the message from Spirit that's really, really important for me to get out today is do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of what is coming. We need to stay calm with whatever we see, and we really need to stay very connected to our hearts. What is happening is going to be playing out in the physical realm, but it's going to be playing out in almost like a theatrical standpoint, in that some of it is happening not because it is real, but because there's still some of us who need to see the gross violations of human rights and the gross violation of just humanity in general that has been occurring behind the scenes for a long time now. And there's quite a few of us who are still experiencing dissonance in that and struggling to appreciate what has been going on. And this is holding us back, I think, from our collective awakening. Now, it's not in the sense of like pushing everybody into a state of fear or panic. That's probably going to happen for some of us, but that's not the intention behind it. The intention is not necessarily to create fear and panic. The intention for us is to see the truth and for us to learn to hold our sovereignty, our freedom in our heart, to remember that we are very powerful beings as human beings, and that we really create this reality. Yes, there might be some forces working against us, but there are so many of us on the planet. There are so many humans on the planet. There are so many loving humans on the planet. And we have failed to realize how powerful we are. And most of us have been conditioned or tricked into not using some of the gifts that we have, of not using our love, of not using our voice. And so this is going to be the time for us to start to do that. So really, the first step they want all of us to know is to find silence and find calm. And whatever that is for you, that could be meditation, that could be going for a walk, it could be running, it could be having a little dance party in your house with your children. But to create these antidotal bubbles. Okay, we're hearing a lot about bubbles, about us being placed into bubbles, but this is about creating our own bubbles, our own free will bubbles. And these bubbles hold humanity's beauty. They hold those moments of joy. You know, we all have these moments where time just seems to stop, where it stands still, and we think, oh, how beautiful this moment is, how much fun I'm having in this moment, how happy am I in this moment. That's the antidote to some of this, is to be able to create those little pockets in our lives, in our homes, in our workplaces, wherever we go. If you can create just a small moment where time slows down and love fills that space, that is an indication that you are anchoring that into your body, into the cells and the DNA of your body and everyone else who is in that space. And it is spreading into the atmosphere around us, which means that there is a high likelihood that your neighbors, your friends, the other people in your community can pick up on that and can draw on that energy. So that is step one. Start creating your bubbles now. If you haven't already done so, I've been sharing this with people throughout the summer. You know, you gotta start doing it now. Figure out how to get into a place of calm and peace really quickly and really effectively, okay? And it doesn't have to be meditation and yoga. Those are just two tools that you can use, okay? Whatever works for you, use that. Practice that now, daily. Even if you only get 3 or 4 minutes daily, get that in there, because that is a tool that we are going to need. The second is we really have to find the ability within our hearts to come into unity. Okay, there a lot of the battles that we're facing in the spiritual and the physical realm are trying to divide us as human beings because we're less powerful, right? If you have 1,000 people, for example, and 500 believe one thing and 500 believe another thing on a completely unrelated topic, but they're unwilling to work together because they disagree on this one item, then they're less likely to come together as a group for something else that's even more important. So this is happening right now. Whether we want to see it or not is really up to each individual person. But please, as you start to see what's happening around the world, recognize that some of these issues that we're being drawn into are meant to be distractions. They're meant to distract us and divide us so that we don't come together to use our gifts, to use our powers. So when you find yourself in conflict with others, pause, go back into your peaceful bubble, go back into a state of reflection, and pull all the way out and look at the bigger picture. I had a group of women up here on the weekend, and I was just sharing with them, when we all look at what's happening in the world, we all want the same thing at the end of the day. We all want to be happy, we all want to be healthy, we all want to be free. So if we focus on the fact that we all want the same outcome, and we just disagree on how to get there, let's stop focusing on the how, and let's focus on the end goal. Because if we do that, we can pull the mind that is stuck in a lower density for a variety of reasons, and some of it is not our own fault. But we can pull the mind out of that state, and we can sink deeper into the heart of, oh yeah, I want freedom, and you want freedom. Maybe there is a compromise. Maybe there is an idea that neither one of us have even thought of yet that would allow both of us to feel that freedom and feel happy with the approach to achieve that freedom. So as we move into the coming weeks, please, please, please know you are not alone, and you are a free, powerful being. And when we come together as free, powerful beings, we decide what our world looks like. And it's going to be incredibly important for us to stop handing that power away to other individuals and letting them decide. You know, we can stand by and just watch what's happening, and I'm not advocating any specific action to take. That's for each individual to decide for themselves and for groups to decide for themselves. But what I am suggesting is that we need to stop creating the excuses in our minds that we can't do anything, or that we shouldn't do anything, or to let that fear overwhelm our ability to really tap into that beautiful human essence that we have, and allow, even just our thoughts to sink into those places. Because even if you are too afraid to get out of your house, if you're too afraid to speak up, that is fine. I can understand that. But watch your thoughts, because every individual person that is thinking, just thinking, sitting alone in their basement on the couch thinking, is contributing to the quantum consciousness of what is happening on the planet. You are contributing to the energy of one side or the other. And if you want to be part of the light, if you want to be, this is really about us being the founders of the new world. Okay, think about that for a second. You have incarnated in a time where we may literally actually build a new beautiful world in the way that we as humans have always wanted to see the world. So do you want to stand by and just let other people decide how that's going to look, or do you want to be one of the founding leaders of that? So as you sit on your couch, at least, at a minimum, hold in your mind the world that you want to see. So when you feel overwhelmed with the news, turn it off. Let go of the images of the horror. Let go of the images of the pain and the suffering. And instead, visualize, what does this new earth look like? How do we relate? How are people healthy? How are people free? How do we work? How do we move? Because we need people holding that vision. Yes, there are people who may be fighting. That may be their role. Perhaps your role is to hold the light and the vision of that new earth. And that is just as important as any of the other roles. So please stay calm. Please visualize and dream for a future that we have all wanted. because the more of us that do that, the more powerful our positive wave, our antidotal wave is to fight this darkness. Much love to you all. And if you'd like, please join me Tuesday nights for the Light Runner meditation online. Pop over to soulinstitute.ca and sign up. I'd love to have you join me in meditation, join me in visioning this new earth.